everybody. Welcome to Charles Haugen Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at the film Send Help, Sam Raimi's new psychological thriller that honestly was a total blast. Short synopsis of this film is basically that Rachel McAdams plays a timid worker in this corporate environment who does more than is expected of her. She kind of carries the business in a way, and she's underappreciated. And she has a new boss that's coming in who's the son of her prior boss. And the son is kind of a pompous, jock, frat kind of guy, and played by Dylan O'Brien. And they end up going on a plane to go to a retreat or some type of meeting for the business. And the plane ends up crashing. Once it crashes, it turns out that Rachel McAdams' character actually knows a lot about survival, and the dynamic shifts between boss and subordinate. And Rachel McAdams almost embraces this persona on this island, and she really likes the dynamic, the power dynamic that she has now. And then it becomes kind of a cat and mouse game between Dylan O'Brien's character and Rachel McAdams' character as they are trying to outmaneuver one another, one seeking to stay on the island and one who wants to get away. Cinematography wise here, this film does a really good job of incorporating a lot of what I call Sam Raimi-isms into the direction. I thought that the direction for the most part was excellent. There weren't really any camera angles or shots that really kind of stood out to me and just kind of blew me away, but I do think that it is very competently shot. It's a nice looking film. The color grading as well is very bright. It's very tropical. They did a good job making it very vibrant. And I would say as well that some of the scares are done pretty well in a cinematography sense, like the way that the camera work works with those, which, what can you expect but that with Sam Raimi? There's also the Sam Raimiism of close-ups to kind of like highlight things that are awkward or gross. And I thought that was really well done here, too. The direction is very quirky, but what more can you expect from a legend like Sam Raimi himself? VFX, I think, is where this film struggles the most. The CGI here is really bad, and it is a bit distracting. So overall, I think the film is a great time, and it's really fun. But the only times that I was kind of brought out of it and reminded that I was watching a movie during the experience was when there were scenes with CGI. Like, for example, there's a scene with a warthog or a boar, and that one was like really difficult. It was very uncanny valley. And there's some other instances here too. I would even say that the plane crash sequence had some questionable CGI interlaced in there. So it's kind of unfortunate. I don't think this is a high budget film though, so I don't think it's something that you can really hold against the movie, but it was distracting nonetheless. I would even say as well that some of the violence in this movie, when it gets to the gore, a lot of it is practical. And in the moments where it's practical, it definitely feels really good and authentic and captivating. But then there are certain scenes that are clearly CGI with the violence and the gore. And again, it was distracting and kind of brought me out of it. So overall, I think VFX might be the point where this film suffers the most. As far as sound here, there's actually a really good score in this movie. Specifically, there's one theme that happens when they are on a beach, Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams, and they're drinking together. And there's kind of like this conversation that they have where they're almost like talking about their life experiences and being more personal with each other beyond just the dynamic that they've had throughout the film up to that point. And there's a score that plays in here that it's very like somber and emotional, and I thought it was really good. So I would have liked if they had included that theme or that thematic note like in other parts of the film, but I understand that there wasn't really room for it because it is a very fast-paced movie. But other than that, like the score is good. It's whimsical. It's got its highlights, but overall, except for that one scene, it didn't really stand out to me. The sound design itself, especially for some of the jump scares, Sam Raimi is always good with those. So very well done. Performances, I think, is kind of where this movie shines. Rachel McAdams is great. She goes through this almost Heisenberg-like transformation from the first time that we see her to the end of the movie. And it's really cool to see her character come out of her shell, and she does such a good job at displaying all these different emotions and behavioral characteristics. Like seeing her go from this timid, nerdy kind of person to this confident and aggressive individual by the time that she's gotten comfortable on the island. It's really fascinating to watch. Dylan O'Brien, he is hilarious in this. I think this might be the first like major role that I've seen him in, because I don't think I've seen him in a lot of stuff, but he was really good in this. Easily hateable, but also like there's a certain point with him where you kind of feel bad for him, and the fact that he was able to achieve that despite being so unlikable was honestly a great achievement in my opinion. I think that there was just such a wide range of emotions shown from both lead actors. These are really the only two main performances that matter. Like there are other characters throughout the film kind of dispersed here and there, but they're not really what we're looking at here. We're looking at Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien because probably 95% of screen time is with those two. And I think that they did great. I think that they did an excellent job, and this was some of Rachel McAdams' best performance that I've ever seen, and definitely the best I've ever seen from Dylan O'Brien. I mean, they were both magnetic characters and just so much fun to watch. Their chemistry was excellent. I really loved it whenever they would get into these little spats and arguments, and just seeing them try to outmaneuver and outsmart each other, it was a blast. And concerning the writing, now, this is not like a super original story regarding people getting stranded on an island and then there being some type of power dynamic. But I think what makes this interesting is how the power dynamic reverses, and also that you have all of this prior information leading up to this confrontation and leading up to this dynamic that we see on the island. And I do think that the writing was really intelligent. It reminded me of The Edge with Sean Connery and Alec Baldwin, where Sean Connery's character is like a survivalist, even though he's not really like that in a professional sense, but he researches it and finds it interesting as like a hobby. So on that, when they crash, he kind of, is able to survive and others depend on him. So it was definitely a lot like the Edge in that sense. So there's a lot of things that are derivative here in the writing and in the story, but I think what really stands apart from any other film that kind of has the same general idea or situation, scenario, whatever you want to call it, is the dynamic between Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien, and between their characters and their battle against each other. I think that's what really sets it apart, and Sam Raimi does an excellent job of building tension, of making things feel like there are stakes, and kind of making it intense despite it being so funny. And we're going to segue into that. This movie is a romp. It is absolutely hilarious. There are so many scenes where my entire theater bursts out laughing, and at the end of it, people were applauding. I always love those experiences. This was at a fan event, by the way, a screening that was I think it was about 2 weeks ago. So it was really cool to see it that early. I put out a short, but I hadn't done a long review because I wanted to wait till the movie was out. And since it's coming out tomorrow, I thought this would be the perfect time to post. So anyways, the comedy here is gold. Sam Raimi's always been really good at kind of teetering that line between quirky humor and horror, and he does the same thing here. I mean, the banter is excellent, the sarcasm is excellent, the awkward situations that they get themselves into are so funny. So definitely needed, considering some of the other events that happen in this film. I do think that a bit of comedy helps, and a lot of comedy makes it even better. As for my overall rating, it should come as no surprise that this movie is great. It's really good. Sam Raimi just doesn't miss. This guy. I can't tell you a truly bad film that he's made. He's consistently made really great stuff. So I would say that this is an 8 out of 10. I liked it more than Drag Me to Hell, and I liked it a lot more than Doctor Strange 2. I'm not a big MCU guy, but This was light years beyond that. I thought it was excellent. I thought that it was a very interesting study into these characters. I felt attached to them. I cared about them, and that is always going to be a sign of good writing. The directing is very fun. It's very sporadic at times, and it's got all those Sam Raimi-isms that you know and love. So I couldn't recommend it enough. This year is, I mean, we're only in January, and this is how many good horror slash thriller films that we've had. It's absurd. I mean, this is like almost, I feel like 2026 is almost going to be a renaissance of horror. And tonight I'll be seeing Iron Lung. So review will be coming out for that, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.